So today we're going to graph more linear equations. Remember, our first step was to get it in the form y equals, and this is not in that form, so that's where we must first do that. So I want the y by itself, so I would need to subtract x from each side. Get 2y equals 6 minus x. Divide by 2. Again, these are going to cancel. Again, you can write this two ways, or if you want to go ahead and divide, you can get 6 divided by 2 is 3 minus x over 2. This second way might help you understand that you need to choose what kind of values for x. Well, if we're going to be dividing by 2, it'll be helpful if we choose even numbers. So I'm going to make my xy table. I think I'll use this first equation, but I'm going to learn from this to choose even numbers. So I put in a 0. 6 minus 0 is 6. Divided by 2 would be 3. If I put in a 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 divided by 2 is 2. If I put a 4 in here, 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I need to graph 0, 3, 2, 2, and 4, 1. Remember, draw your line through those points. And again, if I were drawing more than 1 on a graph, I would put 1 for this one. And I have just 1 to put on this graph. So solve for y, make your table. And again, think of your values wisely, because we don't really want to graph the halves. You can, but again, it's harder math for you, and it makes it a little more difficult to graph accurately. So again, we want to get the y by itself, so I would need to subtract x from each side. I get 4y equals 10 minus x. Divide by 4 on both sides, so I get y equals 10 minus x all over 4. So again, we're going to have to choose wisely, and if you choose a number and you get a fraction, then drop it and go back. So if I choose a 0, that's not going to work, is it? Because 10 minus 0 is 10, and it's not evenly divisible. I mean, it would work, but it'd be hard to graph. If I choose a 1, I'm going to get 9. That doesn't help. What happens if I choose a 2? 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 divided by 4 is 2. So that would kind of work. So maybe that shows me what kind of numbers now I need to choose multiples of 4. So, sorry, every 4 numbers. So if I add 4 on this, I'm going to choose a 6. 10 minus 6 would be 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1. Okay, maybe I want to subtract 4 from 2 to see what that would be. That would be a negative 2. What happens if I put a negative 2 in here? Becomes, when I put a negative 2, it becomes plus positive. That gives me 12. 12 divided by 4 would be 3. So 2, 2, 6, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, and negative 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And again, if they would not have been in a straight line, that's a clue to me that I did something wrong, but they do happen to be in a straight line. So choose wisely to avoid fractions and make things easier for you to graph and easier arithmetic for you also. Again, I want to get the y by itself, so I'm going to subtract 4x from each side. I get 3y. I can't take 12 minus 4x, so I just write that down. Divide by 3. Again, you could simplify, or we can leave it 12 minus 4x all over 3. If you wanted to simplify, 12 divided by 3 is 4, so it would be, the other way to write it would be 4 minus 4/3 x. Put a 0 in there, it is going to leave me just 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So again, since I'm dividing by 3, I probably want to try multiples of 3. So after 0, the next multiple of 3 would be 3. So if I put a 3 in there, 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to get a 0 on top. And I can put a 6 in there probably and still stay on. 4 times 6 is 24. That would give me negative 12. Divided by 3 would be negative 4. Again, you might want to put a negative 3 in there. You could do that. So negative 4 times negative 3 would be 20. 24 here. 24 divided by 3 would be 8. So 0, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 0. 6, negative 4. negative 3, 8. I think that goes off my graph. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, it's going to be up there. Oops, kind of missed my points there a little bit, but alright, so that would be that problem. So solve for y. Choose wisely when you choose your ordered pairs. Okay, in this one, we're going to get the y by itself. We need to divide by 2. So always make sure it's the y you get by yourself. You can put the y first if you want, equals x over 2. Again, choose 0, you're going to get 0. Choose 2, you're going to get 1. Choose 4, you're going to get 2. So 0, 0, 2, 1, 4, 2. There it is. And that's number 4 in this case. Here's one of those special ones. What kind of line is x equal negative 3? Well, hopefully you remember, but if not, you can again make your xy table. Put negative 3 in here. It doesn't matter what y is, 0, 1, 2, so it's always going to be negative 3. So 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be anything right here. What kind of line is it? A vertical line. So it'll be a vertical line like that would be number 5. This next slide I don't think you have, but I'll go ahead and do this just to remind you about x and y intercepts, and then I did say to graph it. So again, to find the x-intercept, we're going to let y be 0. So if this is 0, we're just going to have 3x equals 9, divide by 3, x equals 3. So if I want to go here and graph it, where x is 3 is going to be right there. Remember, so I can graph it before we even go to the next part, maybe. There we go. To find the y-intercept, I'm going to let x be 0. So if I come up here and put a 0 in here, I'm going to have 2y equals 9. Divide by 2, and I get y equals 9 halves, which for graphing purposes I probably want to think of as 4 1/2. So 1, 2, 3, 4 1/2. Kind of like that, and then I just draw a line through those 2 points. So that would be using the x and y intercept to graph.